Well, there is an outbreak of violence across Mexico following the takedown of the notorious drug kingpin known as El Mencho.
We have team coverage tonight, including his ties here in California and the impacts of the unrest.
But we begin with CBS LA anchor Juan Fernandez. He is here now with the latest on what's happening in Mexico, Juan.
Pat, Rudabay, all unfolding this weekend. Mexican authorities tell CBS News that 25 members of the National Guard were killed in retaliatory attacks in Jalisco. In total, at least 73 people died in the military operation that killed the man known as El Mencho. A source telling CBS News the U.S. played a military role, providing intelligence, but that it was a Mexican military operation. Cartel chaos erupted across Mexico on Sunday after Mexican special forces killed one of the country's most powerful cartel leaders, known as El Mencho. Using U.S. military intelligence, Mexican soldiers were able to track the cartel boss to a small town in the state of Jalisco, where Mexican officials say he was meeting with a girlfriend.
He's one of the biggest drug capos in the history of drug trafficking around the globe. And his cartel operated very much like a paramilitary force.
59-year-old Nemesio Rubén Cervantes, a.k.a. El Mencho, ran the international operation, generating billions of dollars from trafficking drugs like fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine. El Mencho's power spread like tentacles across Mexico, with a significant presence in more than 20 of Mexico's 32 states.
I am shaking. I am just absolutely shaking.
The retaliation was visceral and violent. Angry cartel members burned cars, buses, and gas stations, creating more than 250 roadblocks in several states across the country. Panic at the Guadalajara airport, where hundreds of scared tourists, many of them American, scrambled for safety. Sisters Kim and Penny Kiley from Massachusetts were visiting Puerto Vallarta when they saw smoke from burning cars.
Has this worried you about coming back down to the future?
We're anxious right now. I mean, my heart's beating. We're anxious. I just want to be on good old USA soil. In the snow. We don't even care if it's snowing.
Sunday's operation comes as President Trump was putting more pressure on Mexican officials to get more aggressive with the cartels. What may have helped here? The U.S. had a $15 million reward for information leading to El Mencho's arrest. The violence in Guadalajara comes just a few months before Mexico's second largest city is scheduled to host FIFA World Cup matches.
Well, we hope everything is back to normal, so to speak.
Let's hope so, for the tourists and for the people traveling there soon. Yeah.
Thank you, Juan.
Okay.
Well, the impacts from this violence are stretching beyond Mexico tonight, and we're also learning more about the cartel kingpin's connection to Southern California.
CBS LA's Lesley Marin is live in Riverside, where just last year we were reporting an arrest connected to this cartel. Lesley.
Yeah, Rudabay, Pat, El Mencho's son-in-law was arrested here in Riverside, and we'll have more details on that in just a moment. But as you mentioned, this violence has been widespread. Tonight we spoke to an American business owner who says they are being impacted. Just a day after cars burned and businesses shuttered across several states in Mexico. Here in Southern California, some business owners are feeling the impact of the violence.
Whatever is happening there is happening here.
Carolina Lynn's family owns this shoe store near the San Isidro border crossing in San Diego. She says some violence in Tijuana was reported just a few miles from their store.
People don't want to cross the border because they don't know what's going to happen to them if they leave. So business has been really slow right now.
The uncertainty for Lynn's family's business comes following the death of one of Mexico's most feared cartel leaders, El Mencho. Tonight, we're learning he had many ties to California. El Mencho started as a low-level street dealer in Northern California, arrested in 1992 in Sacramento for conspiring to sell heroin. He was deported back to Mexico and started the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Fast forward to last year, when we heard about the cartel's activity in the Inland Empire. El Mencho's son-in-law, Christian Fernando Gutierrez Ochoa, was sentenced to 11 years in prison for money laundering tied to the cartel, after allegedly faking his own death to live a life of luxury in Riverside. El Mencho's youngest daughter also operates a coffee shop in the area.
Yesterday felt uneasy.
As American travelers made their way home from Puerto Vallarta today, people living in the Mexican tourist town say it looks much different than yesterday.
The smoke had cleared. The government has been moving diligently to get all the burnt out vehicles off the roads. opening up the roads, the airport is reopened.
Carolina Lynn now hoping her family business will see customers return as well.
The first day is usually the hardest, but like it takes a couple of days for things to get back to normal.
And tonight, Americans in Mexico are still being told to shelter in place in 2 states, which include Nayarit and Jalisco, which does include Puerto Vallarta. Reporting in Riverside, Lesley Marin, CBS LA.
Oh, thank you so much, Lesley. And we will have continuing coverage of the unrest in Mexico and its impact on U.S. travel. Stay with CBS LA and CBS.com for the latest.